We on something, something, something. We on something different.
Hey guys, it's me, Janelle. So for this week's video, I'm going to be doing a full face testing Pinterest makeup dupes. So half of my face is drugstore and half of my face is high-end. I want to see if you guys can guess right now, although I do show it in the thumbnail, so kind of besides the point. But yeah, to me, everything except the lip looks exactly the same on both sides. I'm going to be testing a couple eyeshadow palette dupes from the Shop Hush app or the Shop Hush website. Shop Hush has been really popular lately for having like really inexpensive and like spot on dupes for higher end palettes. So if you guys want to see how those work, let's just get right into the video. Also, I just quickly want to say there are a few things that I don't have a dupe for. So I do not have foundation, and I'm not going to wear any foundation at all because I do not like spending my money on like high-end foundation because I barely wear it and my skin looks horrible when I do wear foundation. So yeah, not getting any foundation. And then for powder, I don't feel the need to buy a high-end powder. I do have some really good drugstore ones at work, so I just use the drugstore one on both sides. And then I also don't have a setting spray. I didn't even use one besides like spraying my eyeshadow brush with it. I also don't have like brush dupes or like a beauty sponge dupe because I don't spend a lot of money on those things either. So yeah, besides foundation, powder, and setting spray, everything else is a dupe. Hey guys, so I'm a little confused right now because I hardly ever film videos where I film the intro like after the makeup is done. So I haven't filmed an intro yet and I'm just very confused right now. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing I have here is primer. So for high end, I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. So this is the little like travel size. I believe this one is $16, but the full size is $36. And then for the dupe, I have the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. So this was not the exact dupe for like the Smashbox one on Pinterest, but there was another e.l.f. one, but this is one that I had, so I decided to try this out and see if it works. The main difference that I can tell is that the Smashbox one is clear and then the e.l.f. one is white, but like they obviously like blend out. Honestly, with primer, it's kind of hard to tell the difference because like they don't have like different finishes or anything. I guess we'll kind of see how like the makeup wears. Next, for concealer, I have the infamous Tarte Shape Tape. I have the shade Fair Beige, and then the dupe that I found for this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. And this is in the shade C1. So I'm really sad. I got the idea to do this video. So like I was just scrolling through Ulta and I saw this product. And so I was like, oh my god, that's like a total dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. And then I like ordered it. And now I'm filming it, but by the time I'm like filming it, I was like ahead of the game and now people are gonna think I'm copying them. In the swatches, these two shades actually do look a lot alike. And then the main thing I noticed in the swatches, you need like less of the Tarte Shape Tape than you do of the Makeup Revolution. So like from one line of a swatch of the Shape Tape, it was like very pigmented and full coverage, and then one line of the Makeup Revolution one, it like wasn't as like pigmented or whatever. I don't know how to describe concealers, but like it wasn't as full coverage as that one. They kind of look the same now. The only thing that I can tell like as of just putting it on is that the Tarte one is a lot thicker. Knowing me, I'm gonna accidentally put like one of the products on the wrong side of my face and then have to start this video all over again. Now on to the Makeup Revolution side. But they are both set with the same powder, and honestly, I don't really see that much of a difference. I mean, I don't know if it's because like the lighting is more over here, so like the Tarte one just looks better, but the Tarte one does look a little bit better than the Makeup Revolution one. But yeah, I would say this is a pretty good dupe. And also, I'm just going to take this on some of the spots on my face on like that certain side just because I do not have a foundation. Well, I'm all done with the concealer and I think this is a dupe. I definitely give this one a thumbs up. And then also for the primer, I can't tell a difference between the two, so I will also give the primer a thumbs up. But if I had like two completely random primers that like had nothing to do with each other, I would probably still say they were a dupe. So I don't know. Guess I'm not the best to have an opinion on the primers just because I'm not wearing foundation. So I'm gonna move on to eyes because I'm weird and I like to jump around. So for eyeshadow, I'm actually most excited for this. I have 3 different palettes to show you guys. There's this website called Shop Hush. So there's this one brand on Hush called Bad Habit, and the most popular dupe they have is probably for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, which I have a giveaway going on for that palette right now. Go enter it. I just wanted to test out some of the dupes. So I got 2 of them from there, not a lot, because I knew I wasn't going to use these like after this video. So to start off, I have a dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics Purple palette. So this is $42. I'll show you guys what it looks like. So there's a mirror, and then here are the 9 shades. And the dupe I have is from Shop Hush. This is the Vice 9 Color Eyeshadow Collection by Face Candy. So, I don't know if you can tell right off the bat, but this is definitely trying to be the Kylie palette. The shades are like moved around a little bit, but when you match them up with the shade that it's like supposed to be. By the way, for all the swatches, the bottom is high-end and the top is the dupe. You can definitely tell. So the swatches on these are pretty good. The one thing that I can say from this is that these shadows are very crumbly and powdery. The next dupe I have is for the Tartist Pro Amazonian Clay palette. So this one is $53, pretty expensive. This is what it looks like. So there are a bunch of mattes and then a couple shimmers over here. This dupe also from Shop Hush is $14. So this is the Oaklawn Amazonian Clay palette. Now you guys, their products are called like Amazonian Clay. Like they have like Amazonian Clay highlighters, Amazonian Clay blushes, foundation, like tons of different Amazonian Clay products. And then this palette, so how the Kylie one like moved the shades around and had different shade names, this palette completely copies the Tarte one. So like the way the shades are laid out, it's exactly the same. Even the shade names are the same. I'm not going to hold them like side to side right now just because it's kind of hard to hold them both up because they're bigger. For the swatches of these products, first I did them like just normal, and then I like blew away the excess powder because like some eyeshadows are like really powdery and chalky, so I blew away the powder, and a lot of these shadows were pretty similar. Just from the swatches and like looking at them, obviously not testing them out in the eyes yet, I do think those Hush palettes are really nice dupes, but I don't support it. They're completely ripping off a brand, and it's like this is almost a $40 difference between these 2 palettes, and so it's like I just feel bad for Tarte because now tons of people are going to go buy the cheaper version. I don't know. This dupe I feel like is a better, like more authentic dupe where like it's not completely trying to copy a certain palette. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Here is what it looks like. This palette is $42. It is really nice. I really do love this palette. It's one of my favorites. And the dupe that I found for that is the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air little eyeshadow palette. This palette is $4.99. I rounded it up to $5 just because it's easier, but you can see in the like comparison video, this is obviously very similar to the Anastasia one. So the Anastasia one has 14 shades and this one only has 10, so you do get a little more in that one. I think today I'm going to use the Tarte one. To start off, I'm going to take the shade of Vintage right here. Sorry, it's really hard to like hold up this palette. Also, one thing is the Tarte palette smells so good. Like it smells like vanilla and cupcakes. And then obviously I'm just going to take the same Vintage shade from this palette. And then also in the swatches for this palette, I didn't swatch every single one because there's like a lot of shades, but I just did like every other. I'm trying to take shades that I like didn't swatch so that I can like test out different ones. So I'm going to take this shade Innocent right here. It's just the second shade. And yeah. And I'm just going to put that in my crease. I have to like make sure I'm putting these on the right side. Let's test this one out. Okay, wait, why is this one like actually more pigmented than that one? Like this is building it up a few times and this is just like one test. And I didn't tap off either of them. Okay, wait. This is actually really pigmented. I'm going to take the shade No Filter right here. And I'm going to be putting that in my like outer corner over here. And then also like putting it in the crease of like the outer corner. So yeah, I'm just kind of packing it on, building up the pigmentation here. Okay, so this shade right here feels kind of like chalky. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like on the lid, it just kind of feels like dry, if that makes any sense. I don't know. Like, these ones are more like buttery and smooth. I'm going to take the shade Glam, which is the second shimmer shade right here. I'm like holding the palette really awkwardly because I can't find a good way to hold it. But I'm also going to spritz this with some Smashbox primer water. I don't have like a different one to use for the other eye, so I'm just going to use like the same water. But any setting spray or primer spray or water, even anything like that works. Why does the dupe side look better than the high end? Now I'm just going to go back and take the shade Innocent that I used at the beginning. And I'm just going to put that along my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take No Filter that I also used before so that it just kind of looks cohesive. Final review on the eye look. I feel like this one looks a little bit more gold, like yellowy gold than this one, but that's like not a big deal. I almost feel like this one looks better than this one. But yeah, I do give this dupe, I don't know, like it works, but I don't support the whole like ripping off a company. So I guess I'll give it like a middle thumbs up if that's a thing. Next thing I have is mascara. So the high-end side, I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I just have the little mini version. This little mini one is $12. The big one is $23. And then for a dupe, I have the Rimmel London Scandaleyes Retro Glam Mascara. I know L'Oreal has some sort of mascara that looks exactly like the Too Faced one. When I was searching on Pinterest for like makeup dupes, this one came up for the Too Faced one. So I've already tested this out in a video, but I have never tested it side by side along with the Too Faced one. So I'm excited to do that. So I've already curled my lashes. I'm just going to apply most of this off camera just because it's not that interesting. Here's the mascara. I kind of got some on my lash line a little bit, but we're just going to ignore that. So I definitely do think these are dupes. I might even say that I like the Rimmel one a little bit better. It looks a little bit thicker than the Too Faced one. I don't know if that's just me. But yeah, definitely a good dupe. And I can't remember exactly how much this one costs. It's around like $5.50 because at like different drugstores the prices are different. For high end, I have the Hoola bronzer, the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Here's what it looks like. I just found this dupe by looking through my collection and like swatching things next to each other. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in the shade Dolce de Leche. So this has a like highlighting powder and then also the bronzer. Honestly, in the swatches, I feel like the Wet n Wild one even swatched better. Hold on. Textures of these two products feel like exactly the same. Whenever I put on bronzer, I always go in with like a blending brush and just blend it out a lot because I always end up making it look way too harsh. If you can see all of that like fallout, so yes, there definitely is a lot of fallout in this one. I do think that one is a good dupe. I really like the way they both turned out. For highlighter, so I have the Benefit High Beam. This one is really odd. It looks like a little nail polish bottle. And it honestly smells like nail polish too. I have like these little moles right here, so I like to just put it on those. I'm just going to use my finger. I didn't even tell you guys the dupe yet. Oh well. Okay, that is not enough product. There we go. So yeah, this highlight is definitely very pinky toned. So if you don't like those, you wouldn't like this one. I honestly don't necessarily like pinky toned highlighters, but this one isn't too bad. So now for the dupe. So this is the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. I have the shade Sunbeam. So these in the swatches, they are like different colors. So I don't know if there's like a different color that I'm supposed to be using for this one. This one is more like goldeny pink, if that makes any sense at all. And this one's more of like a lighter, like champagne sort of pink. You can see that this one's like more like bright pink than the other one. Oh yeah, this is definitely like very, very pink. You can't even see this one that well on camera. I think it's just like where the lighting is. But okay, yeah. I would say these are dupes, I guess, if you don't care about like the little bit of a color difference. But I feel like I want to set both of these like with a powder, just because I feel like I don't want to like not set them. So I'm just going to set both of them with the same powder. Just any highlight that you have really doesn't matter. This one looks all like popping and highlighted, and this one does not look like anything. And I'm like trying to move over in the same lighting spot. Okay, wow. So the Benefit one looks a lot better than this one. I don't know if it's the lighting. Time for the last product. So I have a Kylie lip kit. This is in the shade Dolce K. So the Kylie lip kits are $29, but you can get them as singles for $17. So I use like the $17 price in the comparison because like obviously this one doesn't come with a lip liner, so I didn't want to add a lip liner in this one now that you can get them separately. So yeah, this is the shade Dolce K, and then this is the ColourPop. It's an ultra matte lip in the shade Beeper. Yeah. I'm going to do half my lips. I know some people do like the top and the bottom, but then you can't like mix them together, so that's just like really annoying. So yeah, I'm just going to do half. I literally look insane right now. This is so funny. They are like pretty dried down now, and as you can tell, there is a clear difference between them. The ColourPop one is more mauve-y toned, and then the Kylie one is more like brown, and I honestly like the shade of the ColourPop one more. So I guess it just depends on like personal preference, but you can clearly see a difference between them. Overall, I really think that basically everything in this video was a good dupe. I definitely love the mascara and the eyeshadow, even though I don't really like the concept. Here is the finished look. I actually really like how it turned out. So, like I said earlier, I have a giveaway going on right now for the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. So, yeah, this is mine. Obviously not going to open yours, but make sure you guys go enter that. It will be the first link in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys next week with another new video. Bye!
What they know about us doesn't make a difference. Baby, we got us. We on something different. We on something